And I was like, so I don't have cancer? And she's like, probably not. Aww.
Thanks for
I
well.
love you.
I love you.
Aunt Megan loves you.
Okay.
Oh, she's so cute.
Away that goes.
So cute.
All right. Now down to business. Let's get down to brass tacks here.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Let me close the door here.
Yeah, we don't want people in on our secrets unless they've subscribed.
Unless, of course, you've liked and subscribed.
Yes, then you're in. Then you're in.
Hell of a week, huh?
Hell of a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to the cancer business. Let's get straight down to that.
Okay, so these are their words. This came out of their mouth. Okay, so I went and I had my scans, and so they came in the room and she's looking over. She's like, they look good. She's like, we don't see any cancer. And she said it like so like nonchalant. And I was like, what? And she's like, well, yeah. She's like, I mean, we don't see any cancer that's like progressing, and we're pretty sure what we do see is just like scars and stuff. And I was like, so I don't have cancer? And she's like, probably not.
What? Was she okay? Did she know the situation? Doesn't sound like she knew your past history or anything like that. And how
have you seen my chart? Do you have the right patient?
Right.
But I guess, yeah, since it hasn't progressed, like in what we're drinking, I didn't know this.
You never said we weren't.
That's a good idea. We should be a little intoxicated during these. But she said, since she's like, well, if it hasn't progressed in 2 years, we consider it like it's dead. Like it's like whatever shows up on scan. She's like, if it was actual like cancer, like living cancer, would be a lot brighter. But so like as of like right now, like they don't, like I have no like active cancer in my body, and I haven't for a while.
Yeah.
But we've kind of went over this before, but like, so, but my type of cancer has a 100% reoccurrence. So that's why I have to be on immunotherapy for the rest of my life. I have to be on like some kind of inhibitor. So, but yeah, so right now we're just like seriously like on cruise control. Like we basically did like the impossible. Like we went from this horrible prognosis where they gave me a couple months to live to on February 2nd is my 4-year cancerversary. So I'm coming up on 4 years. 4 freaking years. And their survival rate for 5 years is was less than 5%. And I remember telling myself, I was like, I just want to make it that 5-year mark because it was like the impossible mark. But I think I'm gonna like just knock it out of the freaking park now. I'm gonna go the distance. I'm gonna die like I want like diabetes or just something that no one saw coming.
It's random.
Yeah. Just something. It wasn't cancer.
Right. Anything. Yeah.
Anything with that. So yeah, so that's where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, I remember not being able to see very far into the future with you know, the initial phone call, you know, coming up on 4 years ago. And so it's crazy to me that we're still having these conversations and the outlook is this good.
I know. It really is mind blowing because really they didn't think I was gonna make it like they thought if I made it 2 years, then that was like they did, like we did our job, like we got as far as we could. And now it's just like, I mean, the sky's the limit at this point. So to the point that we're starting to plan things way in advance. You know, we never did that before.
Yeah.
We're always like, didn't know, we don't know what like 6 months is going to be, or our big adventure coming up. And what is that, 7 months? October or September.
Is it still gonna happen?
What do you, oh yeah,
because of COVID.
I don't know. I guess we're not gonna know until June 1st or whatever. And they're gonna
Let's be clear what we're talking about. We're talking about hiking in Havasu Falls.
Yes. So Havasu Falls is like this gorgeous area. It's a reservation in I don't know how to say it, Supe, Arizona. But to get to this place, you have to hike. It's a 10-mile hike in the desert.
Yeah.
So you hike and then you camp for like 3 days and then you like hike out. But it's supposed to be like, so me, you, and Dad and Bobby, you know, we got to start our training. We actually went hiking a couple days ago.
Did you?
Yeah. And it confirmed to me that the kids are not coming. They literally made it 20 yards. And I'm not even joking. 20 yards into this hike. Max's feet were hurting. Maddie's hot. They're bored. What are we even hiking to?
Right.
All these questions that I couldn't answer. I was just like, we're just hiking to see nature. Like, just enjoy it. They didn't like that answer. So,
right.
What can you do? Yeah, they wanted like some like.
Who's
but the
chiming
thing with
in
our hike that we're gonna do, like this place is gonna be amazing. If you want, anyone wants to Google it, it's like turquoise waterfalls in the middle of.
And this, you know, this is, you know, one of our themes is the bucket list, and this is on your bucket list.
Yes, this has been on my bucket list. Got to
do stuff before you die.
Before you die, that's
whether you have cancer or not, you know, have some things you want to cross off the list.
Yeah, because that's everybody's biggest, I guess, fault is you think you have time, and then you turn around and you don't. You know, and I always say, like, you can't wait till you're retired. Who wants to like go? Well, Dad's gonna try to too, but who wants to be like 65, 70 years old, you know, trying to like travel all over the place? That just doesn't sound like, I don't know. They always say the youth is wasted on the young. And I'm starting to like understand that concept. Youth is wasted on the young.
Well, you've certainly inspired me to try and do some things. And, you know, I knocked out the first half marathon of my life last week.
That is amazing. So how did that go? Did
good.
April go with you?
What's that?
Did April do it with you?
No. It was just me and April's friend who runs. You know, we had kind of talked about, oh, hey, we never did one before. Let's sign up for the Key West half marathon. Aww. And yeah, I mean, like I'd done a few according to my like run app, but I didn't know how accurate that was.
Yeah.
And you know, like you want to be able to say, oh, I did one with, you know, official race results and whatnot.
Yeah, you want that participation medal.
Yeah, I got one. It's heavy. It's pretty. It's Key West. It's all colorful. So
I'm jelly.
But it was
cool.
It was definitely like pretty exciting. Like, you know, there's thousands of people participating. So you're running beside like, thousands of people.
Wow.
It was Key West. So we were running along the water, like southernmost point. It was actually pretty windy. So it was like rain and wind and what like waves were like hitting us like
Oh
as
my
we were running
God.
by. Yeah. Like a good
That's
portion of it
awesome.
was like basically getting hit by like cracks of waves. So it was tough, but at the same time, it's like interesting. You're not like bored the whole time.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
It sounds beautiful.
yeah. It was just expensive as hell, so we're probably not. We'll choose a cheaper one next time.
How much
Uh,
was the entry fee?
well, I mean that part was only like $100, but
Oh, you mean like the traveling down there and getting
yeah. I mean, hotels were insanity. It was like 500 a night.
Whoa,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
gotta pick something a little less spendy.
Fendi. That's so cool though. Congratulations.
Thanks,
That's
Mags.
definitely on my bucket list.
Hey, I gotta tell you, me starting running wasn't an accident. Focusing on my health was definitely something that came from your diagnosis, and then sitting back and asking myself, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And I'm going to sit here and watch
Yeah.
Netflix every day. So,
Yeah, my shitty health has definitely inspired other people to not have shitty health. So,
yeah. Well,
yeah.
well, let's
Yeah.
talk about what you and me have been texting back and forth. How we're gonna pay for all these bucket list items that we're gonna try to do.
Yeah.
Our new
So I just sent out-
side hustles.
I just sent out 6 items today alone. So, and I don't know, like, I don't know what you're selling. You know I'm getting.
Let's be clear for the 5
Okay.
people that are listening to
Yeah.
what we're
Yeah.
talking about. What are we doing?
Yeah. We are now officially eBay sellers.
Resellers.
We are like, yeah. And it's kind of weird because me and Scott, with not even talking to each other, started doing this
Independent of each other.
day.
Right. We
like you just said something like, hey, have you ever sold anything on eBay? And I was just like, yeah, I did today.
Well, you had found that cheap auction website.
Yes.
And you got like the Eiffel Tower for Maddie. And it was super cheap. And then I looked up the comps on eBay for like recently sold, and I was like, holy crap, if she got it for that cheap, like she could sell this sort of stuff.
Yeah, because that Eiffel Tower, what was it on eBay? Like 300.
I thought it was like, what did you get it for?
$30.
I want to say it was at least like 150. Maybe it was like even like $200-$300 or something like that.
Yeah, it was like $300. It was crazy. And so the site that I found, it's only they don't ship or anything, so it's only local to Phoenix. So, and you get on there and it's basically like a bidding site. But I mean, I'm picking up like a Shark vacuum, like brand new, for $15.
Right.
And so, yeah, it inspired the idea of like, well, what if I just started selling this stuff on eBay? And then I talked to you, and you've been kind of, well, how did you start?
So, yep. Not too far in front of you. We moved to like a new neighborhood that's more like walker friendly, and kind of, all you have to do is go a few blocks and there's always garage sale signs. And 2 things happened in the same week. I was walking by my neighbor's or jogging by my neighbor's house, and you know, like as I'm coming up, I can see, I kind of pay attention to this stuff now, but like I can see there's a pile of, you know, stuff where the trash bins are. And I'm like, oh, they're setting out some bulk items. And as I'm, you know,
Just
jogging
say
up to it, I can see 100
you
feet
saw
ahead of
some
me.
trash.
I'm like, you know, that there's a chair there. All right, let's assess. And as I'm
Yeah.
like kind of trotting by, I'm keeping my eye to it, and I'm like, you know, that looked super clean. That was like an office chair. It didn't look worn out, so I kept going. I figure I'll do my cool down walk back by this house, and as I'm walking by it, I'm like looking it over. You know, I can see that there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's nothing like high end or like antique or anything. It's like a modern chair, but it's like faux leather, very clean, perfect office chair. And so like I'm looking around, and like on the street, like I could see like people walking by, like two ladies were walking by. And I'm like probably like a 5 minute walk from my house. So I'm like, I think I'm gonna put this thing above my head and just walk it back to my house. And like before I did that, like the two ladies that like saw me like high up, they're like, "You gonna take it?" I was like, "I think so." They're like, "It's really nice," and I'm like, "Okay, I thought so. I didn't think I was making that up. I wasn't imagining that." So I took it. I put it above my head. You know, I walked back the 5 minutes to the house, put it in the front room. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I just know it seems nice and it shouldn't be in a landfill. Um, and within a week, I posted it on Facebook Marketplace. It sold for $35. Some guy grabbed it, and then the same like exact time frame. You know, I had heard one of the people I pay attention to is Gary V, who's worth like, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars. And he still gets a thrill out of just going to garage sales. And when he goes to garage sales, he sees stuff that he knows they're just giving it away, and he picks it up for himself or for, you know, if he's going to try to make a profit. And so I was watching some of those videos, and I went to a yard sale. They had, you know, a couple different yard sales that I checked out. There was all sorts of stuff, but I don't know what I'm doing. But I saw in the one bin they had books for sale for $1. And they had this beautiful set of Calvin and Hobbes, like collector's set of like every comic book. Like I don't know much about Calvin and Hobbes, but they have the entire like set of this guy's whole, you know, comic strip. And it's like 4 books in a binder. Looks beautiful. Looks like it was never touched. There's a tag still on it that says it was $100 retail. And I'm just like, how much is this? And she's like, $2. I'm like, what am I risking? Like $2. Let me pick it up.
Yeah.
Posted it on eBay, put it on auction, which we'll get into that later. But I put it for a 7-day auction. It got all sorts of bids. Somebody bought it for $57. So yeah, in the same week, I flipped, you know, a chair from somebody's junk, and I flipped a book for $2 to $57. And I'm hooked. I mean, I think it's the funnest thing I've ever done that's earned money.
That's so funny. I said the same thing to Bobby because, you know, I'm sitting there and I have 2 aspects going on. So one, I have to bid on these items. So I'm like searching for, and I'm starting to get a feel for what, you know, sells on eBay. Plus you got to worry about shipping and things like that.
Right.
So one aspect is I'm like trying to get these items, and then there is like such a rush when you pay $3 for something, and all of a sudden, like normally what happens to me is I don't get any bids for a couple of days,
Right.
And then like at 3rd or 4th, like when it gets closer to like the closing time, you just see like 10 bids coming in and there's like 8 hours to go. And then all of a sudden it's like $70. It's just like, holy shit. Like it's fun. And it's not hard. It's not like hard work.
No.
Like I'm scrolling on my phone anyways.
Right. It's basically the funnest way I've ever made money.
Yeah.
It's treasure hunting. It's the rush of watching all the bids come in. It's like how people want that like social media hit where you get a notification of something. There's nothing cooler than a notification that you got like a higher bid on an item you have. That's a pretty cool like
it's a rush.
It's a rush. Yeah. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm starting to outfit my little, this is my store, by the way. I'm in my spare bedroom.
Oh.
And, this is where we keep most of the stuff that I find. And so
wasn't that on the 40-year-old virgin? She made an eBay store.
Yeah. Yeah. We sell your stuff on eBay.
Purpose?
Yeah. It's exactly what. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
so
really
I got
cool.
all this like this hat. I'm wearing this hat because I found it at a yard sale.
No.
And there's all sorts of funky stuff like this light. And
yeah,
I mean nothing's
like a true picker.
Yeah. Yeah. And nothing's expensive. Like I'm paying like $2.
Right? Is that what they call them? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
No. This is how we're gonna do Havasu
and
Falls.
The nice thing, this is how we're gonna fund it. This is. And I've like, I don't know, like eBay, I think they said like this week, they need to pay me like $1,000. Now, how much I have put into that, I don't know. I have to like sit down and calculate everything. But I'm definitely turning a profit.
eBay said that.
Yeah, like on my little notification, it's like this week you've made $1,000. Wow. And we owe you, because they hold the funds for like 3 weeks or whatever. So that's like how much they still like, I think, owe me, like in the pipeline.
That's a lot.
But honestly, I've probably spent like 400.
Okay. So, like on the items.
Yeah, exactly.
As they call sourcing, your sourcing costs.
It's on my sources. Because I probably make about $30 or $40 an item. It's probably like my average.
And you had mentioned like Shark Vacuum. Like what are some things you're flipping here? Okay,
Keurigs are like the hot item. And I can get a Keurig like brand new, never been touched. I got one for $12 and I got one for like $17, depending on like because there's like the mini Keurigs, there's like, and the one went for $70. I just sent that out today, and then the other one was like $85 or something like that. And then I normally make them pay shipping. It's like, so right. I'm not paying the shipping cost or anything like that.
Correct.
But that's the big ticket items, and I like them because they're easy to ship. Because because some of the stuff I know I can make a lot of money on, I would die in the like it would just eat me alive because the stuff is just like too heavy or too bulky or something like that. So I started another thing that like OfferUp. And so I just started dabbling in that, and I only put like 3 items on that. I'm going to see how that does. But like you said, what's nice about eBay is you don't have to really deal with anybody.
Yeah.
Because on OfferUp, you get people that, oh, I want to see your item. And then, they don't show up, and it's messier. It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Like I kind of have, I guess, two approaches is the eBay. It's like, my thought is I want the wider audience of eBay. But like, if I find something that's like bulky and not shippable, I would still want to be able to sell that. And I've had such a better experience with Facebook Marketplace than OfferUp. When I when
Oh,
I
okay,
when
yeah.
I tried, well, like Facebook, Marketplace, it's your Facebook profile is at least there. OfferUp, like you don't really know, like anybody can do whatever they want on OfferUp. Like you have no idea who the person is. Like if you're telling
Yeah, that's a
somebody,
good point.
and honestly, like, not to put anybody down, but it just feels like OfferUp was a way different world of people I was dealing with. Like
Okay.
I feel like most of them don't have phone plans, because when you agree to meet somewhere, like they'll be like, yeah, I was there, but like you didn't show up. And I'm like, I said to message me when you get there. And they're like, yeah, I don't, like two times that happened to me. I was like, because I live like 2 feet from the meetup place, but I'm not going to go because half the time they don't show up. And then when I show,
Right.
so I would tell them, as soon as you get there, I'm a minute from there, I'll show up. But then they don't message you back, and then they're like, yeah, I waited there, I waited there. It's like, why didn't you met? I didn't see your message because I don't have, like, I couldn't get Wi-Fi or something. It's like basically they don't have phone plans on
So what you're
offer.
saying is like the caliber of people is a little below the
Yeah, I would say
like
serious buyer.
Facebook Marketplace. I never even thought about that.
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
It's I guess it's relatively newer. It's not new, but yeah, I mean it's definitely, I've had way more legitimate people reaching out to me, and I feel much more comfortable knowing, hey, here's somebody, here's their profile, I can look at all their stuff, like, they're a
Yeah, that's so
legit
true.
person at least. Here's
They're not as anonymous.
Yeah, I can
And you
tell
can get on their
April.
wall and be like, I waited for you, effer. Like,
Right. I can tell April, here's the person in case I don't come back.
yeah.
Inst-
Oh,
inst-
yeah.
Instead of, a picture on OfferUp that's like a silhouette of nothing.
Yeah.
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 So,
Oh, that's so smart.
so
So smart.
yeah.
Well, good. Well, there it is.
There it is. That's we got excellent scan results. Now, treatment wise, are you still getting infusions for everything?
Yeah, every 6 months or 6 months, every 6 weeks, I get infusion. I get Keytruda, and that's just gonna go on forever until something changes, and then they have another immunotherapy they can put me on. Like they have, but they said they'll probably never put me back on chemotherapy. And well, I said I would never go back on chemotherapy, so they better come up with something else because
Right.
like I'm done with all that. So yeah, so that's it. I mean, we're really just like coasting along, really, really lucky, and I feel good. I mean, a couple of days after getting infusion, like my bones and stuff hurt, like I'm achy, but that's like really the only like side effect. And my hair's starting to like grow back. Like look how long it's getting. I was like I mean, not that I lost it all, but it was so thin, and like now I'm getting it back. But what I do need to get back into is running again and CrossFit. I'm meeting Wednesday. I'm going to go with my oncologist because she does CrossFit to her CrossFit as like her buddy. So that'll be cool. I figured if something goes horribly wrong, like who better to have with you than your doctor?
Sure. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna get back into that, and then we're gonna start training for our hike. We already bought like our bags. We went to like this resale store, and our hiking bags, we got like 50-liter bags because they said that's about what you want. So we're already like starting to like just gather items, and hopefully like it opens, but if not, there's so many beautiful hikes in Arizona Like I was looking up, it's just so gorgeous out here. There's so much to do, especially northern Arizona. Like what we went through up through like Flagstaff and things like that. Like it's such a beautiful area. People think Arizona is just desert, and that is not the case.
Yeah.
Like we just went to a lake the other night and camped out, and it was gorgeous. And that was 20 minutes away.
Right.
Yeah. So things are going good. It's
Nice.
so beautiful here right now.
I
Like
know.
the weather is perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Like 70 degrees, no humidity. It's like a dream come true. And then I got the kids another scooter, like that electric scooter. That's a $400 scooter. I got it off that site for $37. And of course they fought over it. So I found another one. It was more expensive than I wanted. It was like $70. But I figured 2 scooters for $100, and they're scooting all over the place.
Right.
So they're outside all the time. Or I think right now they're online arguing about Roblox or something. But yeah, so life is good.
Excellent.
Life is good.
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
And
Good.
it's so cheesy to say this, and I was like telling Bobby, like this newfound eBay thing has like given me like purpose.
No, I know. And I think at first, April definitely was like, shut up. But you know, like I bought this past weekend, I bought 3 sweaters, $1 a piece, and I sold them all for $55 within 24 hours. And
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
that's that's bringing home the bacon there,
Yeah.
baby.
There's probably bacon on that one site I'm on.
I hope you like
they have,
stuff, because I'm buying it.
Well, and see, you're collecting things. The nice thing about, like I told you, my site is they'll hold it for 7 days. I don't have to pay a dime. So if it doesn't get any bids within 6 days, I just let it go. So I have like no risk to my operation.
I know,
right
and
now.
you're sitting on something that I don't have access to.
Yeah. I really think I can make this, like once I get good at it, and I really think like I can start like rolling in the dough.
Yeah. Oh
like
yeah.
you never know. And this all started because 2 ladies gave you the okay to get that chair. Like what if they weren't there? Would you have gotten that chair?
I think it helped that they, endorsed me.
Yeah.
They didn't say I was crazy. They weren't like, hey, leave that trash alone. They were like, it's a nice chair. So
I just always think like life is such a game of inches. Like it really is. Like if they weren't there and you're like, I don't feel like carrying it. And then if I was like not sure about eBay and I brought it up to you and you're like, well, I don't know anything about eBay.
right.
Like would this be going on right now?
Yeah, I know. It's true. Like like would I be going like full throttle at this thing if Megan wasn't enjoying it as much? Like
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how much support I have. Like it's so good to have support.
I'm glad we can talk about this because I think Bobby's really sick of me bringing it up too. Because like I'm like, you won't believe what I got for this much, and I just posted it and I got 5 bids, and he's just like, all right, cool.
Very good.
Good for you, sweetheart.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, you just wait, dude. When I get like my, what do they call it, mad money, and I'm piecing out to my mansion.
Right.
I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna buy a Maserati, and my license plate is gonna say thanks, eBay.
There you go.
So that's it. And then we have another step in this that we're gonna do too. I told you about me and Maddie's endeavor about being like a clothing merchant, like selling clothes and things like that.
I don't
Like,
know if you did tell me about that.
oh yeah, me and Maddie been talking about it because like she's a little fashionista. Like if you ever see, I post her pictures like all the time. And so I want to open up like a little boutique that kind of caters to her age group, because there's like clothes for like kids, and then there's clothes for like kind of teenagers, but there's nothing for like tweeners like that. And so I think it'll be really fun for her to get on there and like pick some clothes out and model them, and kind of, so we're going to be selling more than we're moving on up in the world.
I love it.
Yeah. And I was like, if you start a business now, I go, you learn the ins and outs of stuff. You learn about taxes. You learn about like investments. I was like, if something ever happens to me, like you're set.
Yeah.
And then Bobby's building, his business, his pest control. And that's going to be something I'm sure Max would love. He loves that kind of work. And I can see Max as a general contractor too. He just loves to build stuff. So, generational wealth.
We can, yeah, I mean, we can continue the conversation about, just kids and becoming entrepreneurs on another
we'll
day.
Get into that next week.
I feel like that's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah, we've covered a lot right now. So we went over me being cancer free, basically.
Almost cancer free. Coming up on your 4-year anniversary here. Not too far away. We're only 2 weeks away. Or not even.
I know, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
What's the 22nd? Yeah. We're like 10 days.
It's the 24th. So yeah, it's very soon.
That's wild.
We'll have to reconnect for a anniversary.
Yeah, I'm gonna print out my things, and I'm gonna show you how much money next time we reconnect, how much money I've actually made in eBay.
Okay.
That'll be exciting. Yeah. I need to sit down and figure it out.
I was thinking that I can pull up stuff and share my screen. So maybe next time we have a little B-roll for this, we'll have some visuals to go along with everything we're talking about.
Yeah. And I'm not afraid to tell my secrets, because the one thing that nobody has is like where I'm getting my stuff. Like I'm like a whole like I'm very blessed in that aspect. That's like right at my freaking fingertips.
Right. From what you described to me, I said, wow, that's amazing. But I cannot do that. I do not. 99% of the country or even more than that. Like it's a tiny niche that you found that only, where you are is something you can take advantage of.
Yeah, because what it is they just get stuff that the box is all messed up, or people have opened it and returned it, but it's not necessarily used. There's nothing like, now some stuff like, but it'll say in the listing like, oh, this was broken, or this piece is missing. But that's where they get all their stuff. So it's not like damaged goods. It's just not good enough to be on store shelves.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's the stuff. I mean,
that's it.
You've got gold.
I know. We're gonna make it into gold. I'm excited. I can't wait to get off this phone right now and see what I just sold.
I know. I know. Like I feel like I finally have, something meaningful to scroll down. I can look at my watchers. I can look at all my.
Like you're not just. I wish I had something
doom scroll.
I feel like I've purpose suddenly.
I
had no purpose before.
I had no purpose, and then this came.
You can come say hi. Say hi to Uncle Steve.
Hi, how are you?
Tired.
You missed my baby.
Yeah,
the beginning.
Yeah, this is my baby. She's not my baby.
I hear you're tall, Maddie. What's going on? Are you taller than Mom?
Yeah, she is. I like a millimeter. It's pretty messed up.
It's crazy.
So she'll be the perfect model for her clothing line.
5'10", like Cindy Crawford.
Yeah, I want to be 5'10". Stop my growth. I was just watching that the other day. I think it's on Netflix. Oh my gosh, it's the best. It's the absolute best. Dan and I are friends because we know what it's like to have people be jealous of us. It's classic. All right, let's go make some money, Scoob.
All right, have a profitable week.
Yeah, you have one too. We'll catch up later.
We'll catch up soon.
Stay in the black. Signing off.
Love you, Megs.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.